We're going to be putting all this stuff on the websites. You can check these websites out. I've taped the lawyers. They're on there, and we're on an ongoing battle to clear our names on this.
Do you think the murder of your son has anything to do with it?
What gets me about that is the only Ottawa detective that's involved in my murder, Anthony Constantini, runs down and takes over his murder investigation. I'm completely bothered by that. My son was passing this evidence out when this happened, and this was at the crime scene. Now, there's only one Ottawa detective that had anything to do with my murder case, and that's Anthony Constantini. Why would he run down and take over my son's murder investigation? It's the only unsolved murder in 2004. This murder here will never be solved. We intend to go down. I want to go down and see Michelle Drew's parents. We have dead kids in common. We won't know who killed them because we're in the Ontario Justice system, I call it. Justice, lawyers, and police. They've spent $30 million on this. They kept us in 9 years to have a trial. You know, this is like 16, 17 years later. What I told the Court of Appeal, as I said, I defended myself. What I told the Court of Appeal, November 27th to December 1st, will be put on our websites. We have it in paper form. We'll have to transcribe it. And this is why I'm going down to Niagara Falls, the guy who runs the Evel Knievel Museum. He runs Justice Reform League for Ontario. Yes.
How do you feel that you've never been acquitted?
It's horrid. It's horrid. We were told 9 years ago, we were offered if we said we did it, we'd be out of jail. And we stayed in jail. We had nothing to do with the murder of a pregnant woman and her boyfriend. It's a horrid crime.
What has the battle been like, though, all these years?
Well, I started representing myself 3.5 years ago when I phoned up James Lockwood, was my lawyer. He runs the AIDWIC. When I told him I had evidence the police frame, he hung up on me. So that's when I phoned up and I taped his junior. You can go to the wrongfullyconvictedassociation.com and you can hear those tapes. It's been an uphill battle for the last 3.5 years.
You said in there that your next step is to go to the Supreme Court. Tell us about that. What is your next step?
I want to go to the Supreme Court of Canada to appeal that I wasn't acquitted on that part of the thing. What happened a few weeks ago, hypnotic evidence was throwing out at the Court of Appeal. At the Supreme Court of Canada, anyone that was hypnotized is no good. There's 3 witnesses to the night of the murder. There's Mr. Goodrow. There's Linda Beland here, my wife over there, who was never told what her involvement was, and Jamie DeClaire. Jamie DeClaire was hypnotized, and now this evidence is no good. So now there's Mr. Goodrow, who thinks he may have hallucinated the murders, and Linda Beland, who was never told, and that's their case after $30 million.
What do you think about our justice system?
It's crap. I call it the just us system. I say if you want to be a successful criminal, become a cop or a lawyer in this province. I mean, it's the truth. I mean, when the head of the Wrongful Conviction Society hangs up on you, I am going to go to the next AIDWIC meeting, too. I'm going to hunt these people down. Trust me.
Do you feel, and do the 4 of you feel like victims here?
Oh, well, 9 years to get to a trial? You know, 16 years later, we're out and we're going, well, I'm sorry, we're not the victims. The families of these 2 people are the victims. You know, they won't know who killed their daughter and son. They won't know. You know, it's a system that is just so corrupt. It's sad. And it affects all of you. It affects every person here.
How did you feel when the Crown in there said that it wasn't because they didn't have the facts?
That's a joke. You want to go to these websites and listen to what I talk to these lawyers about? Go to these websites. Check them out. We're going to be hunting these people down. We're going to get video cameras and start looking for these lawyers involved in this thing. There's a pile of them. They all work. The lawyers and the police work together in this province. And that's the truth. Okay.
So what do you do next? Where do you go? Where do you
Right now, I'm going down to this guy. He's Mark DeMarco. Okay. He runs the Evel Knievel Museum down in Niagara Falls. I haven't seen him. I've seen him up at court.
Are you going to move to Niagara Falls?
We're going to go down there. I got to start scanning a bunch of stuff. They stole a bunch of stuff from me.
The transcripts.
Yeah, the transcripts. So that's going to slow me down. But we've got to put it. We're going to scan it and put it into computer form so more people can see it. This is the guy. This is the guy who's been helping me too, and Dave Roberts. And what's your?
It's the National Coalition for Law Society Reform, Mark DeMarco.
Well, maybe 20 hours a day. I'm a workaholic until we get all this down on record and off on the internet.
Do you have a comment about the informant that was paid for?
Mr. Goodrow, he got everything from a newspaper clipping, word for word, including the mistake. He doesn't know a damn thing about this. In fact, he thinks he may have hallucinated the murders now. That's in court rulings. The other witness for the night of the murder is Jamie DeClaire, who was hypnotized, by a sexual deviant, George Matheson. But hypnotic evidence isn't allowed anymore. And then the third witness is Linda Bland. And she was never told what her involvement was. Now that she's been told, you can go see her sworn video statements on that wrongfully convicted website. What they did to this woman is a crime. And what they're continuing to do to this woman over her son's murder is another crime. And we're going to get to the bottom of it. And we'll put everything on the internet. Follow this.
So you were told, as per all the disclosure that you received, you're told now that you have to...
Those were trial transcripts and my thing.
It's
all at the, they swiped it so I couldn't go over it with you and show you stuff.
Yeah, so you want to get into that.
My other website out there is Kangaroo Justice. That's actually my website that my dad started, who was the chief engineer of all the Armed Forces Control Towers, who calls them all crooks, but that's a chief engineer's point of view of our justice system.
So I always wondered how that website got maintained when you were in jail.
My friends, I have quite a few friends that have, possessed and I met these other people that have been screaming about the Ontario justice system, and this will be the example of this is what's going on.
We have the National Coalition for Law Society's Reform, and we're endeavoring to take the self-policing away from the Law Society, as it has happened in Wales and England, and in 5 jurisdictions in Australia. We love English tradition, but when it comes to a democratic process of having a totally independent ombudsman, like in England, who's called the Ombudsman for Legal Services. So Mrs. Mansour in Manchester, real clout. If a lawyer doesn't come, $2,000 fine, £2,000 fine, real clout. Because this self-policing doesn't work. And the National Coalition right now has Gary Neinstein of Toronto combined with the Law Society before the Supreme Court of Canada right now for unbelievable corruption.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable corruption.
Let's all believe in the perfect world and things start to just happen the way they're supposed to happen. What should happen now? What would you like to see
right
happen?
now, my evidence shows that 30 Ontario lawyers went along with this. That's the scary part. No, that's the real. When the police know that the lawyers will go along with this, that's scary.
Okay, but now,
yeah,
I mean, that's what you say happened. What should happen? What should the system do?
Well,
let's say it works. Okay, what should happen? Should there be an inquiry? Should there be an ombuds established and some sort of?
Can we have the Globe and Mail? Excuse me. Well, the Globe and Mail on January 17th has a thing after debacle, lawyers plead for inquiry, and that was in the Globe and Mail all across Canada, and it has 3 different lawyers groups demanding a public inquiry into this. Damn right. I would like to be part of that inquiry, just not lawyers inquiring about lawyers. I don't think it's yeah, I will definitely want a standing on that as myself, as defending myself.
How old is Rick Mallory?
How old is Rick Mallory? He's 60. Yeah. Yeah.
So you said he's going to, he's having a stake now?
Yeah, I guess he's, yeah, no, it was his girlfriend. Okay. Okay, yeah. Yeah, with his girlfriend.
And then he'll be just trying to
Start his life together.
These are the other victims.
Yeah.
You know?
And the families of this are actually the victims too.
Oh my
Because
goodness.
they've been lied to now for 17 years. But a lot of people made an awful lot of money on this. A lot of police officers made overtime. A lot of lawyers made legal aid money. My trial lawyer, Sue Mulligan, withheld evidence that would have cleared me. The office she was working on, Mike Neville, his wife made $250,000 in trial transcripts the day I was convicted. Huge legal aid certificates. But this will continuing. We're going to make it more public. That's what we're going down to Niagara Falls. Okay. Okay.
Is there anything else that you needed to know?
No, that's we'll be paying it on those websites, and I'll be back in front of this courthouse with megaphone.
How can we get back in touch with you if we need to?
Oh, here. Actually, it rings. It'll ring. This is the biggest story in the history of Canada. We have more than Milgard, Moran, Marshall combined time.
It is extraordinary that the justice.
More than Milgard, Marshall, Moran, and Romeo Filio, who was from Ottawa, 31 years of combined time. We have like over 60-some years of combined time on this. And I said, we do have the evidence they framed us. That's quite clear. And the Crown is still being malicious, as you've seen in court today.
Well, not to release documents already in your possession.
Preemptive.
Certainly. Whatever, and because they couldn't show it to the people here. It's
Preemptive.
the
You're going to have
Crown.
a hell of a time getting those documents.
Well, we'll see.
They're
Well,
going to charge you $15 a page. By the way, whatever it's worth, the Law Society is a numbered private corporation, you know that. Which is intolerable, you know, just intolerable.
They seize something from you. They have to go justify the detention of it for the justice of the peace.
Okay.
And what I would like to do, or what I think you should do, is that we'd go and file a formal notice now, because it's usually done ex parte. In other words, not with you present.
Okay.
We'd file a notice that we want to be present so they can justify every piece of paper they want to keep
okay. Well,
in an open court.
what would you have to do that?
You just have to give me the direction you want it done, and I'll make sure it's done.
Okay, do it.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. Call me and I'll keep you up to date.
Okay, thank you very much. Actually, I'm looking for a writer. Or somebody brave enough to write the story. Who's brave enough?
That's it. I don't know. Charlie Greenwell.
No, that was. Yes, very much so. I lost my son 3 years ago. I missed out on the ritual there last week. Both parents died recently. Yeah. Long overdue. They've known we have absolutely nothing to do with this murder. I have the evidence that they framed us for this murder, and I intend to show the world. We have websites called the wrongfullyconvictedassociation.com, Cambridge Justice, and dirtywarrior.com.
The Crown today said that these charges were stayed because of the length of time, not because there was a fact to it.
That is course correct. We have all the evidence that the Crown and the police and a bunch of Ottawa lawyers were involved in knowingly framing us for first degree. I intend to prove them and to show them to the world.
So what is your next step in it? Is it a lawsuit? Is it because your biggest thing is that you weren't actually accused?
That is important. The parents involved have been lied to for all these years. I'd like to go see Mike Shrew's parents because we have death threats in common. We won't know who killed him because of the area justice system. I'd like to go and explain this and show this evidence to them. I'd like to clear my name. I'm going down to Niagara Falls to the guy who runs the Canadian Museum He runs the Justice Reform League, and we're going to be putting all this stuff down in computer form and putting it up on these websites so everybody can see this.
Is the biggest challenge this year was the killing from another big somebody that first time in the killing?
The $30 million spent, the injustice of it all, having to wait 9 years to get to a trial. We could have, Rick Mallard, I could have said we've done this 9 years ago and walked out. We stayed in. We have absolutely nothing to do with the murder of these people. We don't know them, never met them. We have absolutely nothing to do with them. And the Crown knows this, and the police know this. This is what's happening.
What's the first thing you do today as you're a free man? Do you enjoy some of this fresh air?
Well, I'm going to go have a dinner with some of these people, and then I'm heading down to Niagara Falls to talk to this Justice League, and we're going to start getting stuff to see what our next actions will be. I'd really like to appeal to the Supreme Court of Canada, the ruling they did not acquit. I would like to get that together and go